Lady Morange tells me that a delegation from the De Vespe family just landed on the island.
From the look on your face, I take it their arrival is not good news. Are they that bad?
Their name was given to a deadly poison, the Draught of De Vespe. It's highly regarded among assassins, so there's good reason to worry. We should hasten to get back to New Sérène.
Ah, Lady de Sardet. Did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the De Vespe family in Tirfredi is surprising, and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the d'Orsay family and Sérène. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurélia De Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vigshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know this place, but I thought that only the Doneigada from the Baragnodas clan knew how to access it. It's a sacred place. That's where Animide shed his blood.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. What can you tell me about the De Vespe family? I've never met them, and everything I know is hearsay.
And, strange and worrying as it is, the rumors are justified for the most part. Nevertheless, I'm not an expert, and I've been away from the continent for a long time. I'm sure Sieur de Courcillon will be able to tell you more, but know that they have envied the d'Orsay family's power in the congregation for generations. They have tried to impose themselves many times at its head, holding up the antiquity of their city Pérenne as a pretext. They bribe messengers, use blackmail and trickery, even murder, according to some people. And don't back down for anything. Be very careful with them, Your Excellency, and don't believe a single one of their lies. They're real vipers. Do you have any other questions?
What do you know about Aurélia De Vespe? Is she an important member of the family?
As far as I know, she's the prince's favorite daughter, and the only one left. I seem to remember that she was married to a promising young nobleman for a few years. I heard he died in suspicious circumstances, but I couldn't tell you what happened or if it's even true. But if you want to find out more about her before you go to meet her, you should go to speak to Sieur de Courcillon. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know the city of Pérenne?
Legend would have it that it's the oldest city in the congregation, and its ruins bear witness to a glorious past. It's a beautiful city with a river running through it, and whose art and architecture have long been a source of inspiration for the old world. Nevertheless, it doesn't have direct access to the sea, which stopped it from thriving and becoming as powerful as Sérène. That's what finally pushed it into the background amidst the larger cities. Do you have any other questions?
My lady, I have to go. Goodbye.
De Sade, you seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the De Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. What can you tell me about this family?
Well, the House of Vespe has a very long history. They gained their first noble titles through violence a few centuries ago. Then, commerce and close ties with Ptolemy saw them rise to become the princes of Peren, their ancestral city. However, their lust for power is boundless, and it's no secret they wish to reign over the whole congregation. No luck on that front so far, naturally. Their ambitions have always been curbed by the Dorsays, along with Serene's strategic advantages over Peren.
Quite the history, then. And what about today?
Well, they're more ambitious than ever. When the Malicor epidemic hit Serene as hard as it did, they saw it merely as a weakness to exploit. They attempted a series of maneuvers to oust your uncle from the council. But then the epidemic ended up hitting Peren too. However, I don't think they've given up. And if they've come all the way here, it's surely to gain influence and to undermine your family. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Do you know anything in particular about the prince's daughter, Aurélia De Vespe?
She's a young woman, about your age. Very beautiful, so they say. And she's dearly beloved by her father. Despite her age, she's already endured her fair share of tragedy. Her husband, whom I'm told she deeply loved, was brutally murdered not long ago. What's more, Aurelia's older brother, Octave de Vespe, is rumored to be the one behind it. And I don't just mean he gave the order. That said, don't be fooled into thinking she's but a tragic, defenseless young widow. Oh, she's very much her father's daughter, ambitions and all. I have no doubt she'll be a formidable opponent for yourself and Constantine. Treat her as such. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Given this family's reputation, what's stopping us from arresting them on the spot?
What, without evidence? That would do no good to your uncle's reputation and his position on the continent. I'm sure your cousin would delight in watching him squirm. But the Dorsey family could never recover from such a situation. If you arrest her without evidence, the council would be forced to intervene. And that is exactly what that old serpent, Alexandre de Vespe, wants. No, you must play along for now, but be extremely vigilant. Look out for poison in particular. The de Vespes have untraceable poisons down to a science. Their other weapon is compromising information, which they store in special chests without keyholes. Should slander not suffice, their assassins step in. It is said that Peren's river is riddled with the bodies of their enemies. Take care you don't end up joining them. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Courcillon.
No magic here! Drink a potion! Close to Isari. Ready to shoot!
Legate de Sade, I presume.
Indeed. Delighted to meet you, Your Grace.
The accounts I've been given of you and your companions don't do you justice. Truly, it is a pleasure. We're going to become wonderful friends, you and I'm sure of it. Say, aren't we going to be cousins soon?
Pardon me, Your Grace, but I'm not sure I follow. And if I may ask, what is it precisely that brings you to this remote island?
Haven't you heard? Well, it seems the messengers on this island are not particularly reliable. No matter. Your uncle and my father have decided that your cousin, Prince Constantine, and I are to be married. So, here I am.
My. This is incredible news.
I know you must be surprised. However, this alliance will be a wonderful way to put an end to the enmity between us, don't you think?
But I must inform you that sadly, my cousin... he's disappeared. We believe he may have been kidnapped.
Oh? What horrible news? Do you know who's responsible? I assume an investigation is underway.
Of course. And I'm involved in the investigation. Every effort is being made to find the governor.
Well, I'm most reassured that you're in charge. I'm sure you'll find him quickly, and that we'll soon be wedded as planned. Then, you and I will be cousins, of course. Furthermore, I was hoping I might be able to count on your assistance.
Of course, Your Grace. What can I do for you?
You see, I didn't want to impose myself on New Serene until all the necessary arrangements had been made for my arrival. I had the Nauts drop us off in a quiet place outside the city. Too far outside the city, clearly. There were these savages and bandits skulking around the woods and threatening us. They even robbed me. Worst of all, they took the chest in which I was keeping the marriage contract.
Savages? The only savages I know are the ones who invaded our home.
Oh, please forgive me, I meant no disrespect. Natives then, is it? In any case, it's absolutely mortifying to have to ask you this, but you know the island and its inhabitants better than I do. Could you perhaps retrieve the chest for me? I would be eternally grateful, cousin.
Can you tell me more about the theft?
Of course. We were unloading our things from those horrid little boats that the Nauts get about in when it was taken. I was busy setting up camp at the time, so I didn't see who it was. My men didn't see much either, because it was dark. But certain natives from the region stopped by in the morning. They were aggressive and insisted that we leave. I'm sure they were behind the robbery, unless it was just bandits. There were a couple that my men chased away, but that's all I know.
Thank you. We'll get about finding it.
Is there anything else?
I won't deny that I'm surprised to hear about your engagement to my cousin, despite the excellent reason you put forth.
Surely you didn't think your cousin would stay single forever? Perhaps you thought to remedy this yourself? Know that although the decision was not my own, I'm very pleased about it. I got the impression your uncle thought a wedding might calm your cousin a little. And now that he's in the role of governor, he needs a wife of his standing. My father saw an opportunity to get me away from Peren, where I was in great danger, and found me a worthy husband in the process. But again, it's clear that their main intention was to put an end to years of conflict. Is there anything else?
Since we're going to be cousins, I'll have to get to know you better.
Well, aren't you just lovely? I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was raised like any good princess, educated in both arts and arms. But, as I had several older brothers, I was never really given a political role. I'm still my father's favorite, though. You may know that I've already been married once, but my husband was murdered in cold blood as part of a plot at court.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
You're too kind. After he died, my father decided it was best to send me away from Peren. He knew your cousin was unmarried and was tired of the futile disputes between our families. So he contacted Prince d'Orsay, and the rest is history. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
You don't seem pleased by what she told you. Would that be because of the contract she spoke of? Your wedding traditions are very complicated.
Yes. The great families use contracts to join two members of their families.
That's what I thought. And it explains why you're so angry. No, I don't understand why she spoke of union when that family is your enemy.
I can't believe it either. There's too much rancor between our families.
A wedding could put an end to that. Couldn't that be your uncle's goal? But I'm not educated in the history of the congregation's ruling families.
I'll believe it when I see the contract. And even then I'll look twice. If I've understood correctly, the chest was here when it was stolen. Ah, there are footprints which lead away from the camp. There are other footprints here. They're quite deep, as if the person who made them were carrying a heavy load. We're on the right path.
Oi, Onol Manawi.
Hello.
Burtirtumat. I'm Vad from the Beraignodas clan. I need to speak to you.
Burtirtumat, Donegada.
Burtirtumat, Siora. I hope your friend will be able to help us. I've heard people talking about you in the village, and Dunkas respects you, so I'm sure you'll understand.
What is it?
This land has been sacred for generations, and only the Donegader of our clan can come to calm the anger of Enonmelfrichtimen.
This is where he spilled the burning blood of the land to destroy our enemies. The sun trembled and the sky was black for days.
It is madness to come back here, especially for Renaigse. You must leave and take all the other Renaigse with you.
Don't worry. They're only passing through. Soon they'll leave this place and reach our city.
I hope so, Onol Manawi. Because we can already feel the anger rising up to Credennis, and many would die if it spread.
And these Renaigse don't understand anything. They're multiplying like flies. No sooner had the ones in black arrived from the sea, than others came from the woods to surround them. And now here you are.
I promise that these lands will soon find their peace.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
I'm looking for a chest which was stolen from the leader of the group that settled here.
And you think we took it? We wish only for their departure, and taking their objects won't help us to get them to leave.
That's not what I meant. I was just wondering if you knew where I might look for it.
Like we said, the Renaigse's presence in this place has attracted others. Others who only speak through violence and who hide even from your people. Maybe they have taken the chest of which you speak.
I saw some Renaigse going to and from the rocky overhang just west from here, but I don't know if they're the same ones. You all look alike.
Thank you. I'll go and investigate.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
You said that this region was sacred. Could you tell me more? What happened here?
Of course. It is good for the knowledge of ancient times to be available to all. Teka, tell the story.
A long time ago, as I'm sure you already know, the people of the sea emerged from the waves and began to destroy our island. They built houses here and began to hollow the cliffs. When our kings and queens went to pray in the heart of the island, Enonmelfrichtimen didn't just send the guardians. His anger was such that his heart caught fire, and the long trail of burning blood spread all the way to here, destroying everything in its path. The people of the sea were destroyed here in but a moment, and we learned to fear the volcano's anger.
Since that day, us Beregnodas have watched over this place to ensure that that amount of anger never returns to Enon Milfrichtimen's heart. Do you have anything else to ask us?
Thanks again for your help. Goodbye.
Qua awalem seg, Onol Menawi. And don't forget, those Renaikse need to leave.